It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody. Ernie Johnson here. Jack's here. Kenny's here. Welcome to this edition of 2K Sports. Tonight, we'll be watching the Minnesota Timberwolves playing against the Orlando Magic at Amway Center. Well, for Orlando, they're ahead of where they were last season at this time. Always nice to see that progress in a positive direction. Tonight, two teams that crash the glass. Kenny, when you think of the great rebounders in this league.
Big time.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
We're in the place they call the Amway Center in downtown Orlando, Florida. It's the home of the Magic, where we are broadcasting an action live today. Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter is David Aldridge. Last outing for Orlando. They won that game against Philadelphia. It was just a textbook performance. That game was all there. As they got it going, it was full speed ahead.
Yeah, fortunately for them, I thought the opponent's defense just never showed up.
Yeah, you know what? The waters were calm for most of the game. I mean, little resistance. Felt like they could get any look they wanted at any time.
And the starting lineup for the Timberwolves. They got Victor Oladipo. Towns is out there with Medu, and it's Chan in at the one spot. And you think about the game of Karl Anthony Towns, the versatility just leaps out at you.
Well, he's a man of his times, Kevin, when you talk about his game. I mean, that's where the game is now. And that's always been his ambition, to be as complete a player as possible. And at his size, he shoots you deep, he can post you up. And as he gets better as a passer, he's going to be harder to guard.
Now, here's Oladipo. Defense right on him. Tipped away. This is it to Chan. Back to Towns. Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation.
Yeah, 2 turnovers already in just the first few minutes. Clearly a bit careless. They need him to...
Yo. Got more? Some more. vulnerable. You don't got to bring it tomorrow.
Refocus.
And about a minute gone here in the first quarter. To the paint. And Thompson kicks to Cook. Here's Money. And that one is hammered home.
Such a strong finisher for a floor general.
He was up high, and he came down hard. Exquisitely done.
That's the uncanny ability he has to find a teammate for an easy basket or get one himself.
And Medu passes to Towns. Lets it go with a three. Boucher with the rebound. Orlando, they've gone 2 or 3 here to start off the game. There's the steal, and that's out of bounds. Minnesota will retain possession. Now, here's Oladipo. He's covered closely. Medu passes to Towns. Lays it up and banks it in. Towns has got his first basket.
Towns is a handful in deep. I mean, you look at his size, his height, and his length. Combine that with his strength, hard to guard.
And play stops as it looks like they call it over the back here.
And that's just all about positioning. He gets boxed out, can't fight around it, and gets the over-the-back call.
I thought maybe with a little more hustle, he might have been able to get around him, but he was just a step late.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Westbrook's checked in. And it's Orlando with the rebound.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Thompson outside. Here's Money. Sinks the triple. Money's got his third basket of the night.
And he's connecting on a lot of his shots here, shooting a high percentage from the field, really giving his team a boost.
They get a hand on it. And now Orlando on the break.
Oh, and the lead gets bigger on a ridiculous offensive sequence.
That dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop.
Well, I tell you what, they got this team just a step away from being completely sleek.
Oladipo finds Westbrook. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
Like how confident Westbrook is close to the rim. Gets high off the ground and releases his shot quickly. And the definition of teamwork right there on that alley-oop.
And Greg, what about the finish? Bringing it down with some thunder. Yeah.
I tell you what, I think the pass was even better. I mean, that was room service delivery at its finest.
And Towns gets it to go.
Outstanding anticipation that time from Oladipo, seeing the floor extremely well and then zipping the pass over to the open man.
On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Olden.
Well, here's what the Timberwolves head coach had to say when we spoke to him earlier. He said the big thing is we cannot play hero ball. We've got to be unselfish and trust our offense. We'll see if they can turn the tables around and even up this season series, Kevin. Back to you.
David Banks sounds like he's prepped his guys on how to handle this opposing defense.
And no surprise there, because they're facing a team that can win games with its defense. They are an aggressive bunch from the start.
And you know, guys, that being the case, they can't play soft today. I mean, they've got to really be locked in on being the aggressors. Come out firing and try to get off to a good start.
Here's Westbrook. They grab their own miss. Medu, it's deflected, and he gets it back. Westbrook wide open. He fires. And even after 2 offensive rebounds, they just can't get the lid off.
You know, this just hasn't been his quarter. I mean, he doesn't seem to be comfortable at all, particularly shooting. I mean, he knows he's struggling right now.
And already with a commanding lead, a terrific offensive performance.
Yeah, and the execution, time and time again, right on point. They're running their offense to perfection.
So the Timberwolves call their first timeout. They come into this one following a loss to the Thunder.
Yeah, they're the visiting team. It's a loud arena, very distracting at times, but simply no excuse for missing a ton of free throws.
And you know what, Greg? I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, this is the NBA, the best league in the world. You got to block things out and focus on the task at hand.
Oh. Aggressive coming out of the gate here, guys. Wow.
Tone setting, that's what I call it. Grabbing this one by the throat early on and then squeezing it hard.
Well, we see a lot of rookies getting their first taste, Mark, of NBA action. What was the hardest part for you transitioning from the Big Ten to the NBA?
I think the speed of the game, the number of possessions, again with the 24-second clock going back to the 80s, there was no shot clock in college basketball. So you could drag it out and play walk it up basketball. The NBA, you got to turn that thing over every 24 seconds. And that speed and those number of possessions, a lot to adjust to. And then everybody's strength and talent. That, too, was eye-opening. Exciting, too, because I realized the dream to be out there.
And smarter players, too, on that throw up.
Yeah, they know their stuff. I like to say, when you get to the NBA, you're a PhD in hoops.
Davis kicks to Westbrook. And that's a foul called on Money. That's foul number 2 for him.
Already this. Second foul. He's in danger of getting into serious foul trouble early in this game.
And here's Westbrook from the arc.
I think he's got to regroup and get himself together here. I mean, something's gone wrong within this quarter.
The tenacity, the attention to detail, it's why these guys are in complete control.
And you know what, Greg? They are crushing it on both ends. I mean, in total control right now.
And the drought. That will not drop. Still looking for his groove. He's 1 of 6 so far from the floor. To the middle. Here's Money. And he jams it after taking the nice feed on the run.
Methodical in their approach. They have absolutely owned this first quarter.
And I tell you what, Greg, they worked hard for this lead. Their play calling has been superb, and the execution even better.
And the Timberwolves call time. Like these days, less emphasis on divisional rivalries, more emphasis, it seems, on conference rivalries. You reading that the same way?
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it is because winning your division doesn't necessarily affect your playoff seeding the way it used to. And I think if we get rid of conferences, the rivalries could shift again. So I've already laid out my position on conferences. Let's stay East and West.
Knocks it loose. For the finish. Close the dunk.
I mean, that can happen to anyone, but it's ugly every time it does.
Yeah, it is unfortunate and embarrassing. He just lost his concentration for a split second, and that's all it took.
And so it looks like the Magic will retain possession here.
And with the moment, let's look at the stats for Harkless. Really been a key contributor over the past month, averaging about 11 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. And some pretty good numbers, guys. He's certainly making a contribution.
Better than expected. He still has a ways to go. I like what I'm seeing right now.
Pass to Boucher. Money passes to Thompson. Knocked away. Out of bounds. Timberwolves ball as Minnesota keeps possession. And a look at the locations on the floor where he's been shooting the ball.
Well, this is what you wanted to see from him. I mean, he's not settling for anything, and is going right at the defender, taking the ball to the rim whenever he can. And the attitude he's had on offense is keeping his team flying around, as his energy is contagious out there right now.
Here's Chan.
And they've done a nice job controlling the defensive backboard to start this game.
Not one second chance bucket allowed. That is finishing off good defense.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backboard.
And the trend they would love to continue right through the next 3 quarters.
Oh, wow.
Yes, indeed.
And how about just floating to the rim on that slam?
Boy, when he gets up, I mean, He gets up.
Yes, he does. That's what we call helium. Yeast rising and helium floating.
Ball's knocked loose to the right side. Here's Edwards. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. And take a look at this. Every team loves to have guys like these. Big men who can pass like guards. These are their assist totals on the season. Tristan Thompson is second.
And these are some of the most complete players in our league. I mean, they're not just traditional score and rebound big men. They can beat you with their passing as well.
And their teammates know to always keep moving on the perimeter because the ball will be coming back out to you if you work yourself free. And you're looking at some of the masters of the kick-out pass right there.
The second from the line. Here's Money. He had a career game last time out. Bucket after bucket. To the paint. Fader on the way. That one doesn't go. The Timberwolves go the other way with it. Last time they met was in Minnesota.
Really a resounding loss the last time they matched up. They got absolutely manhandled on the board.
Hey, Greg, you know how it is. At some point, you just got to man up and play with a lot more aggressiveness and toughness and pride inside.
Orlando leading by 19. Inside. Thompson passes to Money. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. 19 points for Money.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
The last 5 trips they've had have ended with a great pass leading to a basket. They're really sharing the sugar.
Knocked loose. Harkless with it. Now defended by Wiggins. And here we go with the Magic fast break. And Thompson throws it down.
That's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant. And this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
Down low, here's Doncic. And it's Orlando with the rebound. Boucher's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
And a good example there of why it's important to change things quickly.
Vitally important. I mean, if you relax for a second, you're cooked. You're toast. They learned that lesson there.
Edwards passes to Chan. Takes it to Wiggins. To the inside. Finally gets one to fall. He's now 1 for 5 with his first make.
Staying alert and aware. Wiggins sees his man flash to an open spot. Pass is right on the money.
Pass to Money. Magic moving the ball around. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. In NBA history, only a handful of rookies have averaged 20 points and 10 rebounds. And Clark, you were one of them.
Yeah, it's a point of pride for me. Obviously wasn't able to be part of a playoff team in the short time I played, but did distinguish myself individually for the short time I played, and that's fairly select company. I talk 2010 guys as rookies, and it's a pretty impressive list to be on. Actually, one of my peers, Terry Cummins, was also part of that first-year 2010 group.
You talk about names: Wilt Chamberlain, Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Hakeem, Tim Duncan, Bird, Shaq. I mean, what great names.
Yeah, some phenomenal names, no doubt about it. Glad to be on that roll call list.
Whoops, they pick off the pass. Goes up, and he slams it down. He's on the corner, Anthony Thompson.
He's put on a show for these fans.
I can't believe he pulled that one out in the course of an actual game.
Well, when you know it, you got to show.
Chan passes to Wiggins. Here's Freeman. That ball's high speed that time from Wiggins.
You know, I think when you've got somebody that open on the perimeter, a good shooter, the kick-out's the only choice.
Money passes to Duchesne, and a strong finish with two hands.
And offensively, they've done a great job here of staying in rhythm.
Well, I tell you what, Greg, their offense has really been productive this half, and I absolutely love the shots they've taken so far.
Chan passes to Wiggins. 34 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Orlando grabs the miss.
Yeah, they got that one, but early on, it's really been a struggle for them to secure that defensive backboard.
And because it's still early, I wouldn't read too much into it. There's still a lot of game left.
And the pass there floated it up to the precise spot it needed to be.
And no messing around on the finish. He powers it through.
And that's an alley-oop that'll be loop-to-loop all day long on the highlight reel.
There's the pass to Towns. Over Thompson. This is the day after picking the D with the nifty basket. And so it's Orlando holding a very comfortable 25-point lead as the quarter comes to a close. Their defense has been very effective in locking down Russell Westbrook. Back right after this. Scorers in the game, Karl Anthony Towns knows it's important to keep his teammates involved.
You know, everyone has to get some of the sugar, you know, so making sure you're not just being a ball hog. So I'm just always trying to make sure that I'm taking wide open shots that I think everyone on the team would love for me to take if I have the opportunity. But also at the end of the day, making sure everyone gets a chance to be in the candy shop.
Well, when you're attracting, Greg, all that defensive attention, it creates opportunities for your teammates.
And Towns wants to win big. To do that, though, it's not enough to get numbers. You've got to make your teammates better as well.
And welcome back to the second quarter of action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for Orlando.
They've been making some really nice passes out there. Excellent passing. That could set the tone for the rest of the game.
And the other thing that's been equally as effective is the fact that they've gotten out on the fast break. A lot of points coming in transition.
On the court for Minnesota, they've got Oladipo, and it's Freeman in at power forward. Here is Cook. He's coming off a 22-point game against Philadelphia.
And his scoring is going to get most of the attention, but his rebounding also stood out. He did a lot of glass cleaning in that game.
It's tipped. Minnesota again turning it over.
A moment here to look at the numbers for money. A wonderful string of games he's put together here lately. He's averaged at 46 points. And his playmaking really stands out, making his teammates better offensively with his terrific passing.
Yeah, he's outstanding at controlling the tempo. I mean, keeps the ball moving, and of course, finds the open man.
Connects from three-point range. 7 points for Harkless.
And he's not going to miss those very often, even from deep, because he has to close out a little stronger on him.
Oladipo for 3. Thompson with the rebound. Thompson's got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game.
And how about the excellent court vision, just keeping the defense off balance.
Yeah, that was a sweet pass right there, setting up his teammate nicely, and that's really how you move the rock. Share that sugar, man. Share it.
And Oladipo kicks to Towns. Good, and it's Oladipo picking up the assist. Oladipo's got his 3rd assist on the night. Orlando's gone 3 of 3 from three-point land here tonight. And for Victor Oladipo, for so many teams, he was the second option on offense. But now, Clark, he's shown he is a full-fledged #1 option.
And you know the thing about that, Kevin, that's really heartening is his teammates love him being in that spot. And that speaks to Oladipo's unselfishness and character. I mean, Russell Westbrook and Aaron Gordon both had great things to say about Oladipo's success leading the team. Again, just a credit to who he is as a young man.
Poke loose, so it's Orlando now. Magic have gone 3 of 7 shooting the ball here in the second quarter. Pass to Harkless. Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. Here's Cook. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. We always talk about the need for front court players who can both shoot and defend along the perimeter. Clark, if you're taking that in mind, who would you point to as the prototype for the new school big?
Well, I think the guy with the most potential in that regard is Joel Embiid. I mean, he's agile. He's got a nice touch. He's got three-point range. He's got post-up ability. And I think he can become an impactful defender because of his physical attributes. So he would be the poster guy for me in terms of the potential prototype for the new school big.
And so Cook nails both of them. Minnesota's gone 1 of 2 on three-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Johnston passes to Westbrook. Fires the three. It's hauled in by the Magic. Thompson's got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done. He was all alone on that one. Money's got 27 points.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Now here's Westbrook. He started closely. And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed in the second quarter of play.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in cracking this huge lead.
And it's been a well-rounded performance. I mean, strong rebounding has certainly been at the center of it, but it's been good on a number of levels.
Oh, you hear that sound? That's the flushing of the toilet right there.
Greg, a fierce two-hander.
Max Force, throw that.
To halt the run, and it's good on the way in. Here's Money. He's got 29 points. Down low.
Chemistry at its best. An unreal alley-oop.
Yeah, you're right. The pass, the catch, the dunk, all of it perfect.
And it all had to be, Kevin, because that's not nearly as easy as they made it appear.
Westbrook with it. He averages about 5 points a game. And Westbrook throws it down hard. And Orlando has possession. They host the Kings after this game. That'll be the final game of this 5-game homestand. Gets the three-pointer to fall.
And he can take over in a nanosecond. I mean, once he catches fire, it's difficult to swelter.
On the top of the key, another miss by Westbrook.
Seems like he's in a hurry. He's kind of rushing his shot. Clearly out of rhythm right now. That's a big reason why they're losing.
Harkless with the bucket.
Well, there you go. I mean, if they're going to keep giving up open jumpers, they're going to keep getting burned.
Pass to Westbrook. Here's Medu. Tries from 10. Davis dishes to Westbrook. And Thompson sends it back. And now Orlando on the break. Here's Money. Second shot opportunity. And it's laid up and in by Thompson. Thompson's got his second bucket of the night.
Just a grinder. Always doing the dirty work on the offensive glass. And that's one of the things he brings to the table.
Left side Westbrook. The shot was in. Orlando's gotten it going from downtown in the second quarter. They're 3 of 3 on three-pointers. To the paint. Medu passes to Gilbert, and the layup's good off the glass.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Lobbed up there for Thompson. Takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down.
And really just unselfish basketball on the interior. That's the kind of pass a coach loves to see.
Pass to Medu. Harkless with the steal. The shot comes out, and it's the Timberwolves taking it the other way. Harkless with the steal. Fast break. Here come the Magic. Here's money. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
You guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it, too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket, and don't let them set up the defense.
Here's Medu. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. The pass to Gilbert. Back to Westbrook. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. It's hauled in by the Magic. Here's money.
Oh, yes, sir. Come on. Oh, that's an old-fashioned ring wrap.
Just a remarkable gem. These fans' jaws are on the ground right now.
Platinum level highlight reel material. That is Showtime stuff there.
To the middle. And a hand on it. And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here. Both teams will make substitution.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey, and welcome. This is Ernie Johnson with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny, the Jets. A number of storylines emerging as the season gets into full swing. Tonight, it's the Orlando Magic as they'll be playing against the Sacramento Kings. Last game for the Kings, they picked up the W against the Wizards. A great win for them, and they rose to...
We're in the place they call the Amway Center in downtown Orlando, Florida. It's the home of the Magic, where we are broadcasting our action live today. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday night edition of the NBA and all its great action on 2K Sports. Along with Greg Anthony, Brett Berry, and our sideline reporter David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Taking a look at Sacramento. Well, guys, at this point, while still many things can change, the record is not on par with their performance last year. Maybe a cause for concern, but something they are well aware of.
Yeah, and remember, this is the second and final time these teams will see one another, so they're going to want to ensure things turn out a bit differently this time around. I expect them to be as aggressive as we've seen all season.
And maybe just more than wins and losses at stake, it could be pride. They'll be using everything in their arsenal to try and avoid the season sweep.
We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all filled up and ready to go for this one. On the floor for Sacramento, we've got Allen. Fox is out there with Ferguson, and it's Lewis in at the force line. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Magic will take it. Now we have a chance to pay homage to the Eastern Conference Player of the Week, Money.
Well, you just look at the scoring he's provided and the numbers he has put up, and it's a no-brainer. Rarely does someone carry an offense this much and not walk away with some form of hardware for their effort.
Brent, you played for 14 seasons. What kind of off-season training did you do personally to keep in shape?
I had a great trainer in Southern California that I would go home to every year and work on different things. It was funny, Kevin, because as you get a little bit older, you can be a little more specific with how you train. You understand how you're going to be used, the type of minutes you're going to play, so you can be a little bit more specialized. I'm not sure if I can tell you this, but I surfed a lot in the off-season.
Balance.
Core, right?
Core balance.
All right, good. Thank you. Check box.
And the pass to Lewis. Poked away. Allen kicks to Fox. Takes the 13-footer. Here's Lewis. And terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2.
Great positioning on the glass, jumping all over that miss and sticking it back in.
Money passes the Cook.
And how sweet a play was that?
As sweet as it gets, an exquisite pass to set up the powerful alley-oop dunk. And that unleashed chaos replay presented by Under Armour. Hover Havoc, giving us a chance to relive that exciting play.
It's hard to believe. He's a point guard. I mean, he can power those dunks down as well as any big man in the league.
If not better. He's a phenomenal finisher.
No doubt. His success converting around the rim is largely due to the one thing he does better than most, and that is fly.
Releases. Thompson with the rebound.
Not a lot of defense there. You can't afford to let guys shoot freely from the mid-range. They're not going to miss those all that often.
Orlando moving the ball. Throws it up high. Hammers the alley-oop through.
Oh, phenomenal alley-oop slam there.
They are taking advantage of a team that looks lost out there. Here's Cook, and he dunks it down.
Methodical in their approach. They have absolutely owned this first quarter.
Yeah, you can credit the play calling. Nothing really fancy, just imposing their will on the inside.
I will go to David Aldridge, who had a chance to talk with head coach Rick Carlock.
Well, Kevin, he stressed to his players that it's all about the extra pass tonight. He said we have a bunch of guys who can score. As long as we keep everyone involved, our best defense is a good offense. Well, let's see if we keep the rock moving tonight, Kevin. Back to you.
Okay, thanks, D.A. And guys, what do you make of David's report putting a premium on offense right away?
I think it's a good plan, as long as it doesn't come at the expense of their defense. They can't ignore that part of the game.
Well, I love the fact that there's no player ever in the history of this league that gets excited about a coach who talks about, we're really going to change up our defense and make sure that that's a priority. Guys are always excited about the yoke.
Ferguson kicks to Fox. Here's Money, and he takes that one up and powers it through.
Starting to surge here, and we're only in the first quarter.
And I'm loving what I'm seeing, the passion that they're playing with up and down the floor.
So the Kings call timeout, their first. And the Kings not just rebuilding the roster, Brett, but also the franchise's reputation.
Well, agents and executives in the past year have been a little frustrated with the fickle leadership coming from the Sacramento Kings, and eventually those perceptions matter.
A big group substitution here for Sacramento. Just under 3.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Here's Smart. From outside the arc. And once again off the mark by Sacramento. Inside, Boucher. Marvelous lead pass, and he throws it down.
And from the opening tip, they just crushed it. You see it now on the scoreboard.
Just incredible flow offensively. Everyone's doing their part. Let's see if they can sustain this early momentum.
To the paint. One up, one one down, 2 points with his first shot this game.
That's a talented guy getting too easy a look. It might have been a miscommunication on that one.
Well, just the first quarter, everyone's still getting adjusted. That said, on defense, you have to bring help sooner.
No hesitation at all on the alley-oop. Saw his teammate with a pass to the hoop, and bang, lobbed it right up there for him to finish.
And he was ready for it when he elevated and made the catch. Smart kicks to Lewis. To the inside. That's good from Malone on the assist by Lewis.
And a nice job here early of establishing an inside presence.
Here's Money. Drills the three-pointer. Money's got 9.
Defensively, giving up far too many open rhythm looks.
In the corner, Cook with it. Jacks up a 3. Hits the three-point bomb. 9 points in the game so far.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Here's Money. Lewis grabs the board.
The defense was in the area, but not really effective. Has to put away this layup.
To the left wing. The open shot by Malone. He'll go on the shot a bit long that time.
A bad shot there. Trust is lacking. You got to be willing to make the extra pass.
Yeah, just too anxious to try and make something happen out there. This is about the team, not about you.
Good.
About 5 straight made from the field to start.
Smart with the ball. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Pass to Lewis. Back to Smart. Here's Esparza. And that one hits back iron. Magic leading by 18. Harkless picks to Cook. And again, it's the Magic from deep.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
And it's Smart with the ball for Sacramento. Their last encounter was in Sacramento.
And that was an ugly loss for them last time playing these guys. And really, the rebounding differential was the key.
Yeah, it was very poor, their performance on the glass. And it wasn't the only reason they got blown out as badly as they did, but it was the biggest reason.
Let's bring up the 2K leaderboard to show you the teams leading the league in assists this season. Number 1, the Magic.
The beauty of watching this team is seeing the ball move around the court. It doesn't stick. That's why they're at the top of that list.
Kicks to Malone. Will it go? And that one drops. Malone's got his second basket of the night. Look at the last game for Sacramento. It was a win against the Washington Wizards. Here's Money, guarded by Smart. Malone comes with the double team. Here's Cook, and he cuts in the layup off the glass. Cook's got 16 points.
Well, his offense should come with the warning label, caution, flammable. He's connecting on everything. The D looks dumbfounded.
Stolen by Johnson. He just cannot miss. 8 up, 8 in. Flawless.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
Here's Money. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got a chance to pick up the points at the line. There are a lot of guys that can just blow right by you. They turn on the jets, and they're as quick as a hiccup. And there are some guys with that quick first step and throw up work.
I love watching Damian Lillard in Portland when it is that he has one of those, most of the games he has it going, but one of those games where he's really got it going. And the way that he can get around a pick and get into the hoop. Damian Lillard, explosive. Put Kyrie Irving, put John Wall's blazing speed on that list. But sometimes Goran Dragic, the way he weasels into a lane, and I mean that in a good way, finishing off.
Oh, I like that word. That's a good word.
He's fantastic. So we have tremendous explosive point guards to get the job done.
The shot's good. Thompson's got his second bucket.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
He's covered by Thompson. Knocks it loose. Over to the left wing. And that's out of bounds. Sacramento will retain possession. And look now at the four areas where shots can come from. The paint, mid-range, and shots from deep. All broken down for Sacramento.
And they've really shied away from the mid-range. That's a new school style. And looking for shots beyond the arc and at the rim, those tend to be far more efficient.
To the inside. Malone. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a three-point play. The Kings shooting their first free throw lead. Free throw drops from Malone. And Orlando has possession. Coming off that win against Minnesota.
And the difference on that night is their ability to knock down triples.
If you choose your shots wisely and then they start to go down, it just builds up confidence. There's a huge cachet of that in this game, and once that happened, they just rolled it out.
Got a piece of it. And here's the fast break. Cook leading the way. That one goes. Count it. 14 points for money.
And offensively, they've done a great job here of staying in rhythm.
Well, they've been the better shooting team throughout the first half because of their patience and because of their shot selection.
Taylor passes to Burks. Back to Taylor. No good with the layup.
Oh, that's terrific defense there. That's how you protect the rim.
That shot misses. And the Kings going the other way now. Becker defended by Harkless. Inside. Taylor attacking. And it's Orlando with the rebound.
You can't miss those kind of looks. The defense seems to be a little nonplussed. So look at that.
I mean, beautiful.
And how about just floating to the rim on that slam?
Boy, when he gets up, I mean, he gets up. Sacramento's gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. Pass to Livingston. Back to Taylor. Malone outside. And that's a foul called on Money. That is his first foul of the game. And the Kings will go for a different look here. Here's Fox. And it's wide right. It's off the rim.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way.
Lobbed up there for Thompson. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. And that's a foul called on Money. That'll be his second foul of the game. Here's Ferguson, defended by Harkless. The wide open look here for Fox.
And the defense not making things easy for them.
Sacramento again missing. Here's Money. He had a 36-point outing in the last game against Minnesota.
Defensive mindset tonight was huge. He was a real pest coming up with all those steals and had great activity.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Fox. .121 left to play in the first. Thompson passes to Money. And he goes in for the dunk.
Just increasing their advantage, and right now they're in a zone on both ends.
Love their strategy, and they've been able to execute on it, building a huge lead.
Here's Fox. Good work there as it goes.
Well, trying to figure out ways to score through contact, De'Aaron Fox does not back down.
Here's Money. The pass to Thompson. Punch-in shot, and he sinks the layup. Boucher's got 8 points.
And on the glass so far, it hadn't even been close.
Passes to Burks. 35 seconds left here in the first quarter. And Fox gets it to go.
The closer that Fox gets inside, the more effective he could say. I guess you could say he's good in the Fox hole.
Here's Money.
No way.
I mean, just beautiful.
My goodness, that was absolutely filthy.
Oh, nasty. This building is stunned. He dug deep, Greg, into his bag of tricks there. Now, here's Fox. Tight defense on him. That's going to be over and back. Not watching for the line that time.
Just careless. No other way to describe it to start the game. That's already his 3rd miscue.
Here's Money, guarded by Fox. Now Harkless. Fires the 3, and again it's Orlando with the 3.
Man, they are doing some damage from deep.
It is brutal to try and match up on the perimeter with a team that is this hot.
And so it's Orlando going to the break, holding an enormous 36-point lead. The three-point shooting has come fast and furious to the tune of what has become a big-time blowout in progress. Back to the action after this word. And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And for the Magic here, they've been putting on a show, guys.
Through that first one, they turned this thing into a track meet.
Love the pace they're playing with. Anytime you can get your offense going without the defense setting up, you've got a huge advantage.
Now, here's Fox. On the court for the Kings as the second quarter gets underway. We've got Ferguson. Allen is out there with Fox. And it's Burks in at the 4.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came upright with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
Well, terrific anticipation using the hands. How are you not protecting the basketball in that situation?
Here's a look at what's coming up now for the Sacramento Kings. On Friday, they'll go up against Bradley Beal and the San Antonio Spurs. Then on Sunday, they'll go up against Russell Westbrook and the Minnesota Timberwolves.
And looking at that Lakers matchup, you know they're going to be amped up for that one. And they'll need to be. That's going to be one tough game for that group.
Here's
okay. That's how you attack. Wow. He is a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
That could be a contender for the dunk of the year, I think. Down low. It's deflected. Here's Cook. And it's thrown down hard with both hands.
And just keeping his teammates involved. This is the kind of leadership you like to see.
Well, you could trademark this brand of basketball, running through the progressions and working around for decent looks.
Here's Fox. Orlando grabs the miss. Money's got 6 rebounds now in the game.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting.
And again, it's Orlando with the 3.
Oh, great ball movement there.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Ferguson kicks to Allen. And we're a little over a minute and a half into the second quarter of action. And up the court come the Magic on the break. Oh.
It's contagious. Every guy on the team working to keep this streak alive.
It's so fun when you're rolling like this. You just want it to continue as long as possible. And right now, fingertips are ablaze.
To the inside. Dell. Count the basket.
And with that one, it ends an 11-0 run by the Magic.
Orlando's gone along perfectly from 3 3-point range. Tonight they've gone 5 for 5. Here's Money, and he goes in for the dunk.
I love the aggressiveness. He's been on fire the entire first half and continues to strike while the iron's hot.
Kings have gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. Got a piece of it. The Kings shooting just 39% from the field, struggling to find that net. Marcus Smart's check in for Ferguson. And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. Brent, I'm sure there were times, and you've won 2 championships where you thought you were going to win a title, and it didn't happen.
I'll go back to the first night that I thought potentially we were going to win a title with San Antonio. And that was in the 2005 finals against Detroit. We had come back home for a Game 6 that I thought we were going to win, and we did not. And sort of the pressure that mounted after that game to know that we were going to a Game 7 and had lost an opportunity where we really did feel coming off of Game 5 we were going to win. It certainly elevated the intensity of the Game 7, which we eventually won at home for our title in 2005.
And Allen drops them both. Here's Money, and he has 28 points for the game. And it's Orlando's ball. They're on a 13-4 run right now. Drills it from outside.
And he keeps finding great shots out there, and the opportunities are turning up roses.
The dish to Allen. Some nice ball movement here by the Kings. Quarter number 2, around 3 minutes gone by. And that's out of bounds. Sacramento will retain possession. And there's the pass to Smart. Gets to the rim for 2 with the D all over him. Smart's got his first 2 points of the night.
If you're going in amongst the trees, you have got to be aggressive.
Well, he's also crafty with how he approaches it. Right there, he uses just the right move to lay it in.
No, big finish, emphatic.
He hangs on the rim just for good measure. Wow. And here in the second quarter of action as we approach 4 minutes played. And that's a foul called on Money. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far.
Yeah, looking up at the scoreboard, guys, that's his 3rd foul, and his coach has to consider now sitting him down.
Livingston's checked in for Sacramento. To the paint. Here's Delk. It's blocked, but they'll get another chance. Lewis with the 3. Offensive rebound. The shot's good from Livingston.
Tremendous effort. He will not be denied on the offensive glass.
The Magic have gotten on a roll and just kept going here in the second quarter. 8 of 8. Wow. Money. To the middle. Trying to find Thompson. He gets it to him. And there it is for him. Thompson's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
Poked away, and that's out of bounds. Sacramento will retain possession. And we'll get a look here where the shots have been coming from for him.
And what a big-time game we've seen from him. He's been the one looking to create and get a shot each trip down the floor. And every time a shot falls, his confidence just grows and grows. Just an all-around tremendous offensive shot. Let's go home. That was just ridiculous.
I do not remember the last time I saw a dunk like that in a game. And here's Smart. Poke loose. Lewis outside. Back to Smart. Here's Livingston. Here's Delk. No good with the triple.
And another miss. Ooh, he's having a really ugly game.
Yeah, about as ugly as you can have, you're right. They get it again. Harkless on the wing. Fires the three. Orlando gets it back. Boucher passes the money. Goes up again. Doesn't get it to drop for him. And it's the Kings taking it the other way. They host the Spurs after this one. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. Here's Delk. It drops for his second made shot of this game. An unimpressive 2 of 7, though.
This guy is so tough to guard. He feels like he can take any challenge that the defense is going to throw at him.
Here's Cook. Banked in off the glass. Cook's got 22.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Smart with the ball. Here's Livingston. Inside. 4-on-3 break. Here's Money. Oh!
That is not possible. What we just... Is that possible?
I think it is, Greg. Not probable, but like possible, like you said. Sacramento's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Here's Delk. It's hauled in by the Magic. Thompson's got 6 rebounds here tonight.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well. Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
Now, Smart. Pass to Livingston. Plenty of space. Thompson with the rebound. Thompson's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Gets it, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
Not easy to prevent Tristan Thompson from scoring in that position. Got to try to body him up.
And for Sacramento, they're shooting at 36% in the night. They've got to step it up offensively. Can they get it? Thompson with the rebound. Thompson's got rebound number 8 now on the night. And the 3 ball is good. Money's got 40 points.
And 2 more 3-point field goals for him here in the second quarter. Somebody had better get a hand up.
Pass to Livingston. Down low. And now Orlando on the break. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That one on Smart. For Orlando, they have made 1 of 3 free throws in the game. The first one falls. And so Cook nails both of them. Now here's Taylor. He's still scoreless so far in this one. To the inside. Burks. And down it goes. Dunked through off a wonderful assist.
And guys, he saw his chance to earn a little camera time there.
Rocking the rim with some major force.
And typically, he is not the major force in that regard, but good enough to punish a soft defense on that play. Now, you can just tell in his gait and in the look on his face, he's in a great rhythm after a terrific first quarter. He is feeling it here in the second.
Back to Taylor, and the turnover again by Sacramento. Here we are in November. Let's see how things are shaking out in the West early in the season. Look at New Orleans, a terrific position for them as they hold up that illustrious top spot, but it's a long season, as we all know. And checking out Sacramento, right now quite a ways down below.
Yeah, you know, for the Kings, so far it looks like the adjustments they made in the offseason aren't going to produce the desired effect.
Now, lots of season left to go, so maybe a little too early to say that. The results have been anything but positive early on, but we've seen plenty of teams dig themselves out of big holes after early season woes.
And that's his fourth foul. And we're not even at halftime. That is going to limit his playing time and his aggressiveness the rest of the game.
Allen's checked in for Livingston. Here's Becker. Sacramento again missing.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
That one goes in. Boucher's got 5 points now in the quarter.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
And here is Taylor. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Burks' shot is good.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Inside, here's Cook. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. Cook's got 26.
The chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Here's Becker. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. And here's what the schedule for Orlando looks like. They'll tip off a road trip in New York where they'll take on the Knicks. And then on Saturday, they'll face off against Anthony Davis and the New Orleans Pelicans.
And for that matchup with the Pelicans, I think they know how important it is to see how they measure up against the cream of the crop in the West. I'm looking for them to approach it like this is a playoff matchup and working Kevin themselves to the line here in the second. A nice way to get your offense going.
Here's Money, guarded by Fox. Thompson with the bucket.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
Sacramento's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Passes it to Fox. There's 1:26 left to play in the first half. Launches a 3. Thompson with the rebound. It's Thompson with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Orlando Magic. Next up for them, the Knicks, a road game in New York. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game road trip. To the left wing, Latrey, and another assist. And that's his 20th assist. Wow.
Just doing a great job at orchestrating the offense.
Right wing. Works for 3. Well, rebound by Cook. Orlando's gotten out from three-point land in the second quarter, going 4 of 5 from downtown. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Lobbed up there for Thompson. 32 seconds left now here in the second. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Becker. Sacramento again missing. Shot from 12. Another possession, another assist.
Another possession, another assist.
You know, Greg, he's sharing the ball well, hitting his guys in their spots. To stop the run. Moves back up. And it's good on the layup.
And you're not going to pass up that kind of play.
Here's Harkless. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in. A dominating first half of basketball, and so far hasn't been close. It's the Magic just dominating this one. And we'll be back with you right after this.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Boy, what a crowd joining us here for our halftime report. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Kenny the Jet Smith and the Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. Out in front of the half is Orlando. They are completely in control of the game, leading by a massive amount. Kenny?
Well, how about that ball? That was a true definition of team basketball. All five guys moving, all guys rotating, everyone touching the ball, a bunch of assists, tons of easy baskets. It gives everyone on the floor confidence when you're playing like that.
Shaq, how do you think Sacramento played?
Well, they gave up too many good looks. Look at the field goal percentage against them. This tells the whole story. Not enough activity defensively, not enough disruption, Ernie. Like Kenny disrupt me all the time, not enough disruption.
And that wraps up the halftime show. Third quarter set to begin in just a few.
Welcome back, folks. The downtown skyline of Orlando, Florida, looking especially striking tonight. And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next two quarters are any different from the first two. So far, it has been a runaway. What a game we're seeing for money.
And how about that? Already through two quarters and some change. He's got a double-double.
Well, it's an impressive performance thus far, but it goes beyond just his ability right now. He's just simply outworking the opponent.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. And for Sacramento, they're shooting at 36% on the night. They've got to step it up offensively. Money out there with Cook. Then there's Tristan Thompson. Then there's Mo Harkless. And it's Boucher in at the power forward position. That's who's out there for Orlando. Fox, no good. Here's Money. Now the pass to Boucher. Money passes to Boucher. Now that one is his seventh make in 8 attempts. A scorching 88%. And so here's Sacramento. Dishes it to Lewis. Second half rolling along now. About a minute played here. Fox kicks to Lewis. Back to Fox. Here's Ferguson. Defended by Harkless. Fox, no good.
That's just poor shooting right now from him, and I'm not sure why he's even attempting those kind of shots.
It's deflected. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. The Magic shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight. And the first one drops. So he gets them both. Just about a minute and a half into the third quarter of basketball. Here's Money. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
And I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen tonight. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively, turn it into easy points.
Fox with it. They look to him for part of their offensive attack. Right now, he averages nearly 12 points a game. Shoots the 3. It's hauled in by the Magic.
They look frustrated. 0 for 3. Not how you want to start the third quarter.
Here's Money. Goes up high for the two-handed dunk.
And you got to like what they're doing offensively. They're executing at a high rate and starting to pile it on.
Yeah, we're sitting here midway through the game now, and we're starting to see them take more and more control. They look very confident in what they're doing.
Here's Ferguson. Sacramento again missing.
That's a big donut, folks, here to start the second half. 4 straight they've missed.
Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now.
And that monster lead continues. to grow. They are just piling it on now.
Well, that's the attack mindset with which they entered the game with, and I wouldn't expect them to let up now.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Here's Delk. No good, unable to end this run.
Ouch. 5 shots without a make. That's a really ragged start coming out of halftime.
Well, so much great defense has come from the shooting guard position over the years. And here's a rundown of the players wreaking havoc at that spot this year. The Magic have missed 2 free throws in the game, going 5 for 7.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor. Something I'm sure they are making a point of emphasis.
Second free throw, no good. Kings have gone 0 for 5 at the start of the second quarter. Extremely cold shooting coming out of the locker room. Here's Smart over to the wing, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Magic will take it.
All right, a chance to check out the stats for money. He's been dominant over the last month. He's averaging 48 points. They're loving how he's running the show here. His sensational passing really breathing life into their offense.
Something in the coach's playbook here where the schemes fire on all cylinders. When he's in the game, a great conduit for them offensively. He knows where everyone is at all times.
Little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now, here in the third. Smart misses.
Momentum right now is against them. They're just going to have to figure out a way to ride this one out.
Got to be some consideration here for a different rotation because the matchups right now just not favorable.
Fox kicks to Lewis. Back to Fox. Here's Money. He has 45 points. Harkless on the wing. Here's Money. Guarded by Fox. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch for Fox.
A chance to check out Tristan Thompson here. He's been fantastic over the last 10 games or so. First in rebounding, first in field goal percentage, and ranked among the top 10 in scoring. He can fill it up with the best of them.
And just going back real quick to the fact that he's tops in the league in rebounds, what a tremendous feat. What a monster he is in the paint. Stolen by Lewis. 3-on-3. Here's Taylor, and he uses the glass on the layup.
That's a gorgeous assist. Outstanding at finding his guys in the spots where they want the basketball.
Down low, there's Boucher, and he quotes in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
On top, Malone, defended by Harkless. And that's out of bounds. Sacramento will retain possession. So it's Sacramento. Malone kicks to Taylor. To the middle. Here's Malone. Orlando grabs the miss. Cook's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Money passes to Boucher. Good. Boucher's got 23 points.
Well, not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
And so it's Taylor who brings the ball up for the Sacramento Kings. And he comes up with the deuce. Taylor's got 4 points now in the quarter. Here's Money. Here's Boucher. Second shot opportunity, and it's laid up and in by Thompson.
And that's what Tristan Thompson does best, just working the glass and working the D over.
Outside, Taylor. Over Cook. Shot by Taylor, no good. Magic have gone 7-9 from the field to start this second half. Some tremendous shooting from them.
And at full speed, he still has the wherewithal to get himself in good position.
Yeah, the snap decisions right there, reading the situation on the move and then making the right choice.
Braun, and he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
Now flying high and throwing it down with the one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys. Esparza, defended by Harkless. Shot by Taylor, no good. Orlando, they've gone 8 of 10 shooting here in the second half. Very strong.
Justin Thompson with some force on that one.
Sacramento's gone 0-2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Taylor taking his time here. He doesn't hit that one. And Orlando the other way. Here's Money. It's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. Money's got 47 points.
And where's the fight defensively? I mean, you know you need stops to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, down by double digits, failing to shut down the lane. It has been a rough night.
Here's Esparza. And once again off the mark by Sacramento. Here's Money. Taylor with the rebound.
And you're just not going to see him do that very often. Usually when he rises up, there's a guarantee it's going down.
Now here's Malone. He's tightly guarded. Kicks it to Taylor. Malone outside. The shot comes out. Here's Orlando now. Their defense is only allowed 6 points in the second half.
And guys, that's not as easy as he made it look. You've got to have some skill to pull that off.
Well, he's got plenty of those, that's for sure.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Taylor attacking. Braun. They get it back. And Thompson sends it back.
Well, Thompson lives in the paint, and defensively, occasionally, you're going to get the shots like that.
Harkless with the buckets.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
Now Taylor. Pass to Livingston. To the inside. They can use a bucket. Boucher with the rebound.
Wonderful defense, staying active around the rim and then really putting the shooter in a tough spot.
Incredible reverse throwdown. Excellent body control.
Hey guys, I'd even go as far to say that was a punctuation dunk. The Kings shooting a low 30% mark from the field. Now here's Taylor. Pass to Livingston. Sacramento moving it around. Malone outside. Passes it to Livingston. Banked in off the glass. Livingston's got his second bucket tonight.
Always tough to work the closer you get to the basket. Nice job of finding an angle on the pass there.
Lobbed up there for Thompson. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. Esparza, defended by Harkless. And that one drops. Taylor's got 6 points.
And he's showing signs now of life after going scoreless through the half.
And stolen by Malone. And up the court come the Kings on the break. It's good.
You know, you hear that A word all the time, aggressive, and sometimes just being that can turn your game around. He's been that in the second half, the go-to guy here.
To the paint.
And how about the communication between teammates on that alley-oop?
And that's what you need to pull that thing off. We've got 1:28 left here in the third quarter. And here is Taylor. 8 points for him. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Let's bring up the 2K leaderboard to see the best up-tempo teams in the league. Number 1, the Magic.
You really got to admire their conditioning. I mean, it takes a major commitment to play that fast-breaking style, and they are all in.
The first free throw is good, and the Kings will go for a different look here. That one misses, so he goes 1 for 2. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Money's got 53.
Such astounding shooting right now from him. He is untouchable from the perimeter. What a performance.
Malone kicks to Ferguson. With Smart, and it's blocked.
Well, the fact that he has that many rebounds for a guy of his size and stature shows you he truly cares about grabbing possessions off the rim.
The Magic have gone 6 of 9 at the line. First free throw is good.
They've done a much better job from the line this half. They've gotten that percentage up over 80 for the game.
Sacramento making a switch here. Smart's checked in. That one is no good. Sacramento's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. And it falls over the rim and in. Smart's got his second bucket of the game to go. Smart's gone 2 of 4 from the field. Here is Cook. 33 points for him. Knocked away. Pushing it up. Pushing it up. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. The Kings have put up good numbers at the charity stripe, converting 6 of 7. And the first one at the line is good. So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses. Here's Money, and yep, another basket.
And he's been dominant here thus far.
Shouldering the offense, GA really taking it to the opposition. Poke loose. And so it's the Orlando Magic holding an unbelievable lead as the quarter wraps up. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. We come back right after this. Here now a chance to show you our assist of the game. And it's presented as always by State Farm.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Well, a great job with the eyes. And what separates great playmakers, as we know, Greg, is peripheral vision.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. On the court for Sacramento, we've got De'Aaron Fox. And it's Lewis in at the center, locking down the middle. Hope they get it back. Cook, the pass to Money. 3-pointer. Buries it from 3-point range. Money's got 59 points.
There you go. That's the stroke we saw in the first half.
Now, here's Fox, defended by Hartford. And so it looks like the Kings will retain possession here. Game is so wide open now, Brent. Such a great pace. Does that put more strain on bigger players? Good physical.
I think it's putting strain on everybody. I think last year we saw...
regardless of size.
Yeah, injuries to every position, the key guys at every position. I think that some of the physical motions that players have to perform in games because they're covering more ground and in susceptible positions, it's happening to everybody. The issue with the big guys, Kevin, is they're not playing. less of them are getting more important time on the floor. So it's a strain on everybody.
And he can't hit the second. The second chance effort, and the layup is up and in. Boucher's got 25 points.
Letting a guy sneak by for a putback off a free throw, that is inexcusable.
Here's Becker. Here's Lewis. Tries again. He lays it in. Lewis has got 4 points now in the quarter.
In that tight, with that much of an advantage height-wise, there's just not a lot the defense can do.
Here's Money, guarded by Smart, off on the layup. The Kings have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. Here's Delk. Thompson with the rebound. Thompson's got his 20th rebound here tonight. Saw that coming. He lobs it up. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. And we're around 2 minutes into the fourth quarter here. That's tipped. Harkless with it. The pass to Money. Back to Harkless. And Harkless slams it in.
And the definition of teamwork right there on that alley-oop.
And Greg, what about the finish? Bringing it down with some thunder. Yeah. Fourth quarter of play. We're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. Do you see a lot of player tampering right now in the NBA?
Well, how do you define it, Kevin?
Well, the player wants to go out and recruit other players that may be under contract with another team.
I see that a lot. I mean, it happens all the time. Players talking about what they're thinking about doing and about, wow, don't you think this would be great if we could get together on the floor in 2021? Let's try to.
But management doing it is a completely different animal.
Management cannot do it, although some teams have walked that tightrope a little bit to the point where they've fallen off in recent years. But the idea of players not ever talking to one another about the potential of being together,
come on, right?
It's always happened.
Ferguson's checked in for Marcus Smart. Orlando, they've gotten 4 of their 6 shots to fall so far here in the fourth. A pretty nice efficiency there. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. And the first one drops.
Well, the defense has failed to cut off any of these driving lanes, which is why they're resorting to fouling him, and he's hurting them from the charity stripe.
No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2. And turnovers have been the issue for him.
You can see the coaches have gotten into him a little bit about this. They've got to do a better job of taking care of the ball.
Ferguson's shot is good.
That's how you set up your teammates. Done with a little bit of flair.
Stolen by Lewis. Look at the clock, a little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth. And he gets the whistle for the 3-second call.
And becoming impatient, that's not how you're going to catch up.
Yeah, that's a painful mistake there. All you can do is just shake that one off and try your best to move on to the next play.
Livingston's checked in for the Kings. Pass to Harkless. Here's Money. Boucher kicks to Cook. Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. Here's Thompson. And again, another assist.
Another possession, another assist.
You know, Greg, he's sharing the ball well, hitting his guys in their spots. For Sacramento, they've gone 3 of 6 in the field so far in the fourth quarter. Pass to Livingston. Adam Silver has said there's probably more basketball being watched and played, Brent, in China than anywhere else in the world. How long before you think we see our next Chinese superstar in this league?
It's going to be interesting when that does happen. Obviously, the type of mark that Yao Ming made in NBA, it's going to be hard for anybody to match the kind of impact, not just in the game, but what he did globally for the NBA. It just won't happen again. But I'm looking forward to, heck, not just the next Chinese player, but a Japanese player, somebody from India where they love the NBA game, to start to find their way onto rosters in the league.
They're coming. I mean, there's gonna be someone before long.
No doubt.
Here's Ferguson, defended by Harkless. Harkless with the steal. A pull-up. Got that bucket. And he's now got the double-double. 11 points and 10 assists.
And the jump shot has been a dimension of this game where they've had a clear advantage.
A three ball. Sinks the three-pointer.
It's foolish leaving anyone that wide open from outside the arc. The D has got to be better.
Money passes to Harkless. And Thompson kicks to Harkless. Passes to Money. Orlando moving the ball around. And off the prime, and in it goes. 26 points for Tristan Thompson.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
This is the second year with the sponsored patches on the jersey, advertising more or less. You've gotten used to seeing those things.
Yeah, I think it was no problem last year.
They're small, they're on the jersey.
Some teams did some really cool creative things with the color schemes, and I don't think we've seen the last of that.
You see it in European games on their jerseys.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to recognize the number with how many advertisements are on the jerseys. But yeah, I don't think we're done with it yet.
No good on the second free throw. And so it's Burks bringing it up now for Sacramento. Here's Taylor. And that one hits back iron. Inside. Here's Money. Makes it off the glass.
He's been on his A game, seeking good shots. And he's a huge reason why tonight they're winning.
Now Taylor. Contact on that one, so he'll shoot two here. Guys are slimming down, it seems, Brent, to play at a faster pace. And we hear more and more players are using a plant-based diet now.
Vegan-style players.
Maybe not quite to that extent, but they are certainly very, very cautious about what they're putting in their body.
I think we just hear more stories about some of the things that players are trying in order to get themselves to their athletic peak. And one of those things, of course, one of the most important things is the fuel that you're going to put into your body, because that's your only tool. So I think guys just pay a little bit more attention to how it is they're feeding the system.
We hear a lot about small market teams being anxious about retaining their own star players. Is that overblown, or do you think there is reason for concern on their part?
Do we think that players are not going to get recognized if they play in a small market by the national media, if they're one of the best players?
Well, look Oklahoma City, look at Milwaukee without Kumbo. I mean, they're all getting recognized.
Yeah, I think these ideas have gone by the wayside for a lot of players, and they want the best opportunity for their playing and their best opportunity to shine, no matter where that is. So it's a bit of an archaic argument, in my opinion, Kevin, the way it is that we see guys nowadays, and take the small market thing out about it. There's one market, it's called the NBA.
Sacramento's gotten just 1 of 4 three-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. Here's Ferguson, defended by Harkless. Shoots from 14. Sacramento again missing.
Well, I like the shot selection. I don't like the shot result. It won't happen much.
It is good.
Yeah, that was the third straight high percentage look the defense has allowed. The defenders have got to start putting bodies on bodies.
And Tristan Thompson gets the whistle that time. That's foul number 2 for him. Sacramento making some changes. Lewis checked in for Burks, and Malone's subbed in for Ferguson. Allen against Thompson. Lewis dishes to Taylor. Orlando grabs the miss. Money passes to Harkless. Here's Money. He got it again. Sensational.
And that's 70.
He's unbelievable. Each trip down becoming more important.
And you need to string some successful offensive possessions together and play tough deep.
Here's Taylor. Lays it up off the glass. Taylor's got 10 points here in the second half.
That's just smart basketball. Ideally, you love for all of your shots to come from that spot.
And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. Lewis. And so he's picked up his final foul. And he will sit for the rest of this game.
Yeah, and luckily they've got terrific depth at that position. If there's one spot on the floor where they can afford to lose somebody, that would probably be it.
As the league's star power grows, we see more players taking on roles in entertainment, which is kind of interesting. Do you think that's a distraction at all?
Did you know that I was in a movie myself, Kevin?
Why do you think I'm bringing this up? You have firsthand knowledge of this stuff. Your fingerprints are all over this place.
Yeah, not a distraction. I mean, come on, it's an opportunity for guys to go.
It's fun. You loved your experience, didn't you?
I did love my experience. I did a couple of commercials when I was in Los Angeles. It's a lot of fun.
And you were good.
You're amazing.
And they won, and they won awards.
You know, these guys are kids. They want to do those jobs. Why not?
He knocks down the first one. And the Kings making a change here. He hits one and misses one, each at the line. Sacramento's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. Malone passes to Fox. Oh, that's blocked. They get it back. With some art. Thompson with the rebound.
And forcing the miss there, he just knows how to pressure you defensively.
We hear a lot about rim protection. This is a good example of how valuable it can be.
To the inside. Here's Money. And he's going up for the alley-oop. And another assist for him. Dishing it all over the place in this one.
He's tallying them up in bunches. And what an alley-oop. Those two read each other so well.
It's a play I'm sure they love to run. Right side, Smart. To the middle. Deflects the pass. Malone. That one good for 2. Here's Money. Brett, they're always trying to make the All-Star game itself more competitive. Is that an important thing to do?
I don't think overall it's important to do it, Kevin. I mean, it is an exhibition, but I do like the attentiveness of the players over the past couple of years talking about how it is they want to approach the game. It ends up being a high-scoring affair with a lot of highlights, but overall, it's not the most important thing for the weekend.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Magic.
Great, generous ball movement tonight. A thing of beauty.
Yeah, a remarkable team effort. They got everyone involved.
So looking at the season total, this will be their 17th win.
And with this win, it gives them a sweep of the season series, even though it's just a brief 2-game.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Money.
That's amazing defense from him. Seemed to know exactly when to pounce on the passing lanes and predicted steals.
It's going to be out of bounds. The Magic will retain possession.
Yeah, tremendous hustle just to get a hand on that one.
Anticipation, reads the play all the way. So close to a steal.
Out of bounds, Sacramento will take possession. Malone check in for Sacramento. Malone comes in for Smart. Sacramento's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. Malone kicks to Fox. Back to Malone. That's tipped. And another steal for him. And that's his 6th steal of the night.
Imposing his will at the defensive end. Running up the score, showing no mercy.
Well, you want to close the door on any type of comeback effort. This has been a vault. Ka-chink.
You're right. Now, here's Fox. Makes it off the glass.
And finally hitting their stride. This is the run they needed earlier.
Well, easier to do once the game is on ice, as your opponent sometimes has a tendency to relax.
And Fox with a clear path to the basket. And it's Fox with the jam.
I think opposing coaches have nightmares about De'Aaron Fox being out in transition. We got to see why right there.
Here's Money. Lays it up and puts it in.
And they earned this one, showing an ability to dominate in front of their home crowd.
Yeah, tick-tock and not much time on the clock left. Double-digit lead and coming up roses.
And so it's Orlando taking this one by a big margin. It was a tale of two teams tonight. One that was in total control, operating flawlessly. The other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go. And once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow from their perspective.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Brett Berry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. And we'll see you next time.